deer meat. Now the first thing you're going to want to do, you're going to have...
Sorry. The dog wants to get out of the kitchen.
Okay, deer meat. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is once you cut it off of the deer, you could have someone at a meat market, local meat market, do it for you. And if you actually don't want the deer meat, you can have them donate it to the homeless, and they'll cook it for them. But they can cut it up for you. You'll get it into small bags. They'll have it in chunks like this. And you want to just cut against the grain. There's going to be lines going in it. Long ways, you're going to want to cut against it. Just little pieces like that. Just keep doing that. And you'll get some of this white. You want to cut that off. You don't want that.
Is that all the fat right there?
Yes. Then there's also these little lines coming through here. You can see it. Okay, well, stuff like that, any kind of lines or any kind of silver you want out. You want to do about that small. Maybe smaller, maybe bigger. The bigger you are, the bigger it's going to be, the bigger you go, or the longer you're going to have to cook it. Now, once you got it like that, you want to make sure you pound it real good. Make it real tender, because if you don't, this stuff is going to be really tough. I mean, like, you're not going to eat, it's going to be tough.
Like beef jerky tough?
Yeah. You want it to where it looks pitiful. Like that. That is perfect right there. But we already did that for you.
Oh, good job.
Yes. Now, what you want to do, get your water, put a decent amount of salt in there. And just stick your finger in there. Taste it. Make sure it's not too salty, not too unsalted. But you're gonna have it. It's gonna be stuck in there for days. You can every day you can change out the water. Make sure all the blood's out and everything, but you don't have to.
How long did you say it needs to be sauteed in that water?
Soak it for about 2 to 4 days. Depending on how salty you want it, and you can also change the amount of salt. And then we're gonna you get a big baggie, and you get some kind of dip to put it in. Maybe golden dip or beer batter or something like that. Beer batter is what I prefer, but I couldn't find any. Put it in a big baggie, and you get yourself. I need a measuring spoon, please.
Could you lend me a hand?
Thanks, hand. Now, probably do about maybe a teaspoon, or forget about the spoon because it's so slow.
Just pour it on in there.
Pour it on there. You don't want too much because you don't want to be frying up big batches of garlic. That would be bad. Then you can also get, or you also get some black pepper. I prefer McCormick's. They're pretty dang good. It's a little more expensive than Great Value, but it's also a little more better. And do about 1 teaspoon of that. Now, zip it. Make sure it's closed. Mix it around good. Then, open it up. Separate this from the juices. Kind of want it in a bowl-like object so the juices don't get all over your counter. Go in there. And while you're doing this, have your little deep fryer, have it preheating at 350 degrees or maybe 360. Don't go to 400, it'll just cook the outside too fast. And use pure canola oil, which is the best thing to use.
Crisco is the preferred brand.
And while you got this, get some juices out. Kind of strain them a little bit. You still want juices on them so that all the batter will stick to it. Get that. That's a pretty big piece. What was I thinking? Just got it. Right here. Drop it all in there. Zip it up. Shake it around. Play with it. Just play with it. Now they'll kind of try to gather together, so you kind of want to make sure you split them up, and they'll hold together and everything. So just make sure you got all the surface covered in the batter. Make sure it's at peak flavor. Now, put it about like that. Then you just wait for your oven to finish preheating and put it in. Now that your oil is done preheating, just get, depending on how big your fryer is, this one's kind of a small fryer, so you only want to do like a small handful. And make sure you spread them out a little bit, get them kind of flat. Don't burn yourself.
Very hot oil.
Very hot. About that much. Put it down in there, shake it up a bit, make sure it's not attached to the bottom, and just leave it for 45 seconds max.
Blaze, keep track of time.
So just until maybe it's brown, and then the most important ingredient of this whole meal is, of course, the wine. Make sure you get a healthy dose of wine into your glass. Then, after you have it into the glass, make sure this is the most important part. Turn around, then drink.
Ah, the perfect beginning.
This is a good meal. Okay, I lied. You're going to have to put them in there for a few minutes, maybe. And maybe 2 to 3 minutes, just depending on how fast it's cooking. Now, you want it to be nice, light golden brown like that. Get yourself a plate. Yeah, that's the perfect color. And then drop them everywhere. Make sure you make a mess.
Those look good. I've never had venison cooked this way, but it looks like a crunchy shrimp. So if it tastes,
It's all it all depends on what type of batter you use. This is a seafood style, so it's more like little crunchies. It's not.
right.
It's more seafoody apparently because that's the way they wanted it to be.
But
Try to cut it into the first one. Make sure it's not pink or anything. Make sure it looks nice and cooked.
it's gonna cut through there pretty quick.
Make sure you try it. If it's not right, you want to make sure you try it with the first batch.
Give us a good little angle on that.
That's some good venison.
Is it super hot?
Yeah, it's straight out of the 360-degree oil.
Alright, get a texture shot.
There we go. So you see, it's not that red. It's nice and brown and delicious.
It's not focusing on
Oh, that's so good.
That good? Okay, we'll see you later.